Doctors say, like other aerosol-transmitted viruses, COVID-19 lasts longer in the drier winter air. That, coupled with the cold weather forcing people indoors with poor ventilation, they're begging people to socially distance and limit who you spend time with to your own household. Stephanie Wade, WRTV.
Well, hospitals are not allowed to require their staff to get the vaccine based on the emergency use authorization language. They also said today they don't plan on separating employees who received the vaccine from those who didn't, but instead will protect all of their employees the same. It's also important to point out here, it's still unclear whether the vaccine reduces your symptoms or actually reduces the ability to spread the virus. Now to today's numbers. The State Department of Health reporting 35 more deaths of people with COVID. Those deaths occurred between November 28th and yesterday. The state also reports just more than 5,000 new cases of coronavirus. Those results recorded between October 29th and yesterday. A hopeful number is the decline of people hospitalized with COVID. They are the lowest in nearly a month and continued a steady downward trend that started last Tuesday. As of yesterday, there were 3,072 people in the hospital with COVID or suspected cases of COVID. The last time it was about that low was November 18th at 3,063.
The Indiana National Guard is expanding its role in Indiana's fight against the coronavirus pandemic. The Guard is now sending specialized teams of medics to provide patient support into hard-hit long-term care facilities facing critical staffing shortages. The teams consist of 4 or 5 members who are trained to assist with personal care and feeding of residents and to practice enhanced infection control. This is temporary help when a facility has immediate staffing shortages. This is in addition to the work the Guard is doing at 534 facilities across the state to help with screening employees and administrative tasks so staff can focus on patient care.
And I say welcome to you. And welcome to sunshine. Good to see that. I don't think we'll see a lot over the next several days, so enjoy the last few minutes here of our Monday sunshine on a dry and cold start to the work week. Temperatures have struggled, staying in the 30s through the day. Part of the story is that north wind that's gusted over 20 miles per hour. It's still 10 to 15 miles per hour out of the northwest. That keeps our temperatures on the cold side. 32 is the current temperature in Indy, Peru, and Muncie, 1 degree cooler and slightly warmer in Terre Haute and Bloomington. Metro area temperatures all pretty uniform in the lower 30s. The game plan this evening, partly cloudy skies. That cold wind continues, temperature down to 27 at 11. And during the day tomorrow, our mixture of clouds and sunshine gives way to all clouds. We'll put this in motion and you'll see the storm system start to move in for Wednesday. We're on the edge of the storm system. I'll tell you what that means for our snow potential coming up.
Now to Democracy 2020, and it's Election Day all over again. Today is the day the Electoral College, many electors in all 50 states and the District of Columbia, are formally voting for the next president of the United States. It's the next step in making official the presidential win of Joe Biden. Indiana's electors cast their ballots this morning at the State House.
The ballots cast for the President of the United States have been tallied. All 11 votes have been cast for Donald J. Trump.
Indiana's 11 electors voted for President Trump since he won the state in the November 3rd election. Other electors from across the country are voting today for the candidate that won their state or congressional district. President-elect Joe Biden won the largest share of electoral votes to win the presidency. He also received the most popular votes ever. Biden needs 270 electoral votes to secure the win. Right now, he has 247. He's expected to address the nation tonight around 7:30, and WRTV will carry that live for you. On January 6th, the votes from the electors are certified in a congressional ceremony in which Vice President Mike Pence is required by law to preside over that key moment.
The holiday shopping frenzy is also underway right now, and more people are shopping online due to the pandemic. Tonight, as WRTV's Kelsey Anderson reports, deadlines are looming if you are online shopping or mailing gifts across the country.
Well, there are 11 days left until Christmas, and today, December 14th, is the start of the busiest week for the United States Postal Service. And they say you need to have those gifts shipped or those online shopping already done by December 18th if you want it here by December 25th. Now, a record number of Americans are shopping online this year, and that is why the United States Post Office added Sunday's deliveries. And if you are sending first-class mail, the recommended shipping deadline is December 18th. And starting December 19th, it is recommended that you use priority mail to make sure those packages get there by Christmas Day. Now, I did send some packages earlier last week on Tuesday to my in-laws in Florida. They have still not received those packages. They were expected to be there on Saturday, and as of today, they are still not there yet. So again, if you are going to mail anything this holiday season, make sure you're doing it as soon as possible and definitely before December 18th. Working for you, Kelsey Anderson, WRTV.
Great advice there, Kelsey. Thank you. An early Christmas present for Purdue University students. For the 10th straight year, Purdue announces a tuition freeze. The university announced today the university will keep its West Lafayette campus tuition frozen at 2012 to 2013 levels through at least the school year 2022-2023. That's 10 straight years of no tuition increase. This will be formally approved by Purdue trustees in late spring of 2021 per state statute. Base undergraduate tuition will remain at $9,992 per year for Indiana residents and $28,794 for out-of-state students. Purdue also announced today that it plans to hold spring commencement ceremonies at Ross-Ade Stadium. They say this will allow graduates to share graduation safely with family and friends. The in-person event for undergraduates and professional candidates will be held at 10 a.m. Saturday, May 15th. Because of the pandemic, Purdue held its May, August, and December commencement ceremonies virtually.
Still ahead on WRTV, a new announcement from the Colts about attendance at Sunday's home game. Will there be more or fewer fans than originally expected? Now that there's a coronavirus vaccine, will you still need to wear a mask if you get the shot? We explain the science behind that answer.
And a cold start to the work week, but eventually a warmer finish, and we'll focus on snow potential coming up.
While the coronavirus vaccine is certainly a step in the right direction, those who get the shot will still have to wear masks until scientists can answer a key question. Derek Stahl with our Scripps station in San Diego is going in depth to explain the concern around vaccinated people potentially spreading the virus.
The clinical trials by Pfizer and Moderna showed the two vaccines were 95% effective. But what that really means is they were 95% effective at preventing COVID-19 symptoms. The trials did not measure whether vaccinated volunteers got infected without symptoms.
So it is possible and conceivable you could get the vaccine, be protected, your health is going to be fine, you're not going to get sick, but you still could get an asymptomatic case, pass it on to your grandmother, and kill her.
Both the Pfizer and Moderna vaccines are injected into the arm muscle to stimulate antibodies. And from there, the antibodies can quickly get to the lungs to fend off severe infection. But experts say the antibodies may have less access to the nose and the throat, the primary entry points for the virus. Some studies have suggested that people without symptoms can still have high enough levels of coronavirus in their nose to infect other people. Dr. Christian Ramers is with Family Health Centers of San Diego.
So the vaccine's doing something to prevent disease. We don't really know yet if it prevents transmission. So we got to fall back on all those fundamental things like distancing, masking, and washing hands.
Still, experts say there are encouraging clues that vaccinated people may be less contagious, like a study in October that found antibody levels in the blood were similar to levels in saliva in the mouth. Until we know more, doctors say vaccinated people will have to keep wearing masks, potentially until we reach herd immunity.
There's modeling to suggest that it will be next summer until we reach the point where there's enough people vaccinated that this curve of new cases really starts to go down.
There's a chance we could get some good news before then. Both Pfizer and Moderna say they'll start testing their volunteers' blood to see if they got infected after vaccination. Moderna says it'll take several weeks to produce results. Derek Stahl for WRTV.
AstraZeneca conducted its trial a little differently and had volunteers regularly test themselves for signs of an asymptomatic infection. The company said early data shows its vaccine reduced infections, but it has not revealed details yet.
As we're still months away from a potential return to normalcy, the NCAA announced today that the 2021 Women's Division I Basketball Championships will be held in one geographic area, similar to what was announced last month for the men's tournament. In making the announcement, the NCAA said it was in preliminary talks with the city of San Antonio and the surrounding area as the potential site for the 64-team tournament. San Antonio is already slated to host the Final Four in April. The chairman of the committee said one site promotes the health and safety of all involved. Last month, the NCAA announced that it was in preliminary talks with the state of Indiana and the city of Indianapolis to host the entire men's Division I basketball tournament. Indy is already slated to host the Final Four from April 3rd through April 5th. And the Indianapolis Colts announced today they are lowering the number of people who can be in Lucas Oil Stadium for Sunday's game against the Texans. That number is now down to 10,000 from the originally planned 12,500. The decision was made in consultation with the Marion County Public Health Department. The number was lowered due to the recent spike in COVID-19 cases in Indianapolis and around Indiana. A limited number of tickets are still available. Normal capacity at a Colts game is around 63,000, by the way. We checked in with Kevin a few minutes ago, and he said you better enjoy what's left of this sunshine because we won't really be seeing it for the rest of the week.
Yeah, a lot more clouds around. Hey, Mark, you mentioned lowering the crowd size at the Colts game. But they've raised expectations, man. Did you see that? 44 points yesterday?
Isn't that amazing?
Yeah, they're on a roll, so that gives us something to look forward to as the Colts get ready to steamroll their way into the playoffs. Okay, can we handle an inch of snow? I would say yes, we can. And we're definitely handling the colder temperatures. You got to bundle up. No secret, we didn't warm up. As we got to the morning hours this morning, you had the idea of what the day would be like. The nice benefit was getting some late day sunshine. And it's dry tonight, dry tomorrow. Then we'll focus on our snow potential. I used the inch amount to go a little above and a little below. I'll explain what I mean. Let's just show you how this weather system to our south and west moves to the north and east, spreads snow into the Hoosier State, but we're kind of on the northwestern edge of this. I think the greater likelihood for heavier accumulating snow in the 1 to 2 inch range may well be over eastern Indiana. But this is one forecast model that puts that 1 to 2 inch just either side of Interstate 70. Here's another that shoves that to the south and east a little bit with less snow to the northwest and a little more to the southeast. With temperatures a little above freezing, it would be a bit slushy in the afternoon hours on Wednesday. So we stay tuned for what would be our first introduction to accumulating snow for most of us this season. Love that view. Nice orange glow on the horizon. As you look to the west, temperature down to 30 in Tipton. They'll lead the way. I take that back. Richmond, you're leading the way. You're in first place, 28 degrees. Temperatures in the morning hours tomorrow in the lower 20s. We'll see a mixture of clouds and sunshine give way to all cloudy skies. Temperatures mid-30s to potentially upper 30s. A closer view of how this plays out Wednesday. 7 a.m., some ongoing snow, especially southern half of the state. There we see the moisture moving north and east early afternoon, and you see how this kind of spins, and the western edge is in the state of Indiana. There are your temperatures. The key to creating some slushy conditions instead of just slick roads will be getting temperatures at or above the freezing mark. 7-day forecast after Wednesday's light snow. We turn our focus to warming things up gradually. Temperatures to end the work week 38 Friday, lower 40s over the weekend, maybe a little rain snow mix on Saturday. We'll be back and talk more about this as we go through the next hour. Back after this.
The pandemic is not slowing down the granting of wishes by an organization that has been granting them for more than a century. Today was the first of 4 distribution days for the Salvation Army's Angel Tree program in central Indiana. Members of the Salvation Army and dozens of volunteers were following stricter health protocols and putting together the gifts that will make the holidays a little brighter for many Hoosier children.
It's really about providing hope, to let families know that they're not alone, that other people care about them and are willing to do something about that. So it's really about touching people's lives because the children don't know the gifts are coming from the Salvation Army. Only the parents know that. And so the children are receiving that special feeling that you get when you open up your gifts on Christmas.
This year, the Angel Tree program is providing toys for more than 5,000 Hoosier children. The Salvation Army also urges the program to fill other family needs such as diapers, winter clothing, and shoes. The pandemic is taking a toll on the mental health of kids in central Indiana. Tonight at 6, what parents need to look out for and the help that is available. And a local woman tells us about her horror and shock after purchasing hundreds of dollars in gift cards. WRTV Investigates is on the case and getting results next at 5:30.